Hello everyone and welcome to beautiful Norrviken in Stockholm, Sweden. Now I'm gonna do a shoe off and I'm gonna try what I think is the three best shoes in the world right now and put them up against each other. And these shoes are from out here. These are 361 degrees Miro Nude. They are the lightest shoes that you can find, except for maybe some track spikes. They are in my size EU44. They are 120 grams. Then we have Puma Fast R3. They are 180 grams, I think, in my size EU45. And then we have the Asics Metaspeed Ray Tokyo, and they are 136 grams, I think it was, in EU45. So it's going to be very exciting to try them out against each other. To help me, I have my stride pod, so I'm gonna measure everything, and I have my Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris on my feet as a control. I will run 12 times 400 meters at around 5k pace, so I will try each of them for 3 intervals. Alright, let's have a go. Here are the stats for all the 3 shoes that I have tested. The most noticeable difference between that we can see in the whole table is that the Puma Fast R3 is a lot heavier than the Asics and the Miro Nude. However, I don't really felt that played a huge part when I was running in it. I think it felt a little bit heavier, but not as much as you can see here. For the Miro Nude, I haven't been able to get official numbers. So the 34 millimeters in the heel and the 28 in the forefoot and the 6 millimeter drop is only guesses by me and some other people on the internet. I also guess that it has a 3/4 plate, just like the Asics Metaspeed Ray Tokyo has, which is to be compared with the Puma Fast R3, which has a full carbon plate. The cost for the Asics and the Puma shoe is exactly the same, while the Miro Nude is a little bit cheaper. However, I don't think you're gonna get as many kilometers from the Miro Nude, either for racing or for workouts. I have put the numbers for all 3 shoes pretty low, as I think that they are not very durable, any one of them. So here are the results of my shoe off. I have compiled the most important data in a table. Here you can see you have the model, all 4 models that I tested, the average kilometers per hour, the average watts that I had to input to get this speed. Here you can see what I consider the most important column, maybe second to this one. But this is the amount of watts that I had to put in for each kilometer per hour. So you want this number to be as low as possible, because you want to put in as little watts as possible for the highest speed as possible. This is the same thing, but this considers also the air resistance that my stride pod calculated. This is the ground contact time, average ground contact time. And this is the leg spring stiffness. I will come back to that one. But if you look at this one, I think this is the most important one. So we can see here that the Asics Metaspeed Ray Tokyo is the most efficient shoe, but just slightly before the Puma Fast R3, and a little bit ahead of Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris, and last of all are the 361 degrees Miro Nude. And I have to say, this surprises me a little bit, because I thought this one was more efficient than that one. I ran in them in the order of, first I used Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris, then I used the Puma, then Ray Tokyo, and last Miro Nude. And I have to say, when I went from the Sky Paris to the Puma Fast R3, I felt a world of difference. I mean, the Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris felt very stiff compared to the Puma. This felt truly like I could bounce on a trampoline. when I ran. Then when I switched to the Puma Fast R3 to the Asics Metaspeed Ray Tokyo, it felt like I was running on a marshmallow almost. I have run in the Saucony Elite 2, I think it's called, and this has a similar feel, but it's lighter and maybe a little bit more springy. But to be honest, I think the Puma felt a little better than this one. Puma is the best feeling shoe, if you can call it like that I have tried ever. And this one is the second only to the Puma. And then when I went from the Metaspeed Ray Tokyo to the 361 degrees Miro Nude, this one felt completely flat. It felt very light, even lighter than this one, but it felt completely flat. And that's kind of new, because when I run in this one without having run in another shoe before, this one feels springy, actually. So that surprised me. If you see in this column, it's pretty much the same story as this one. It's the same order, but the difference between the first and the second is more pronounced, and the difference between the second and the third is not as pronounced. If you look at the leg spring stiffness, which I think, I don't understand that variable fully, but I think, or I know that it's good to have a high number, and I feel it's supposed to be how bouncy they are or something like that. It is very strange to see that the Miro Nude is the second best here. Very, very strange. I mean, if I go by feel alone, the Puma should be the highest. Metaspeed Ray Tokyo should be a little bit behind. Metaspeed Sky Paris should be even more behind. And then this one should be dead last. So I have to say that surprised me a little bit. But I will try these two in a race as soon as I can. I'm not sure I can take both of them the marathon distance. Actually, I have to try that out first, but it feels like the Puma is more a long-range shoe than the Asics Metaspeed Ray Tokyo so far. So that's my verdict, that's my test. I will come back if I do test these again. Bye bye.